We have a pretty significant NHL trade to discuss. Jake Allen is on his way to the Montreal Canadiens. We'll discuss the details of the trade and give you my thoughts coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. Now, as I mentioned, we have another pretty significant NHL trade here, this time between the Montreal Canadiens and the St. Louis Blues. The Montreal Canadiens have acquired goaltender Jake Allen, along with a 7th round pick from the St. Louis Blues in exchange for a 2020 3rd round pick and a 2020 7th round pick. Both of the picks that Montreal is trading here are not their original picks. The 3rd rounder belonged to the Washington Capitals. The 7th rounder was a Chicago Blackhawks picks, both of course that they had acquired through other moves previous to this. So obviously, as I've discussed before, the Montreal Canadiens are loaded with draft picks. They have some decent amount of cap space, and I fully expected Marc Bergevin to be putting those to good use this offseason, to especially with the picks, to be able to acquire other players. Now, I'm not shocked here that Jake Allen was traded. Of course, I had mentioned numerous times here, the St. Louis Blues needed to cut salary for a variety of reasons, and then Jake was more than likely going to get traded, that his value was high, probably more high than it ever has been, considering he had a really good bounce back season, even played well in his limited playoff action as well this year. So it's not a shock that he was moved. He's got 1 year left on his deal, $4.3 million, but I am a little bit surprised he went to Montreal. Now, of course, I know that Marc Bergevin was outspoken about wanting to upgrade the backup goalie position for the Montreal Canadiens. That's not a huge shock that they've gone ahead and done that. I thought they might do that with somebody making a little less money. Obviously, Charlie Lindgren is still in the organization with 1 year on his deal at $750. They could try to move him, or they could retain him as a number 3. He could certainly go through with the waiver wire if he needs to go to the minors. If he's unclaimed, he could play down there with Caden Primo. They could be the goalie tandem for the American Hockey League this coming season. That's a strong possibility as well, but difficult to say what the future holds for Lindgren for sure. But obviously, this puts a lot of money tied up in goaltending for Montreal. They get Carey Price making 10.5, and now Jake making 4.3. So that gets us really close to $15 million in the goaltending position. So clearly, though, they want to protect their investment in Price. They want him to be able to play a little less, be rested, and obviously that's going to help him be, a better goalie, more productive, take the workload off of him. So not a huge shock in that regard. Just like I said, I kind of thought they might go a different direction with somebody making a little bit less money. This might kind of hamper the Habs from making a bigger acquisition and, in the forward group or a top defenseman or something else like that, because the Habs have been really involved in a lot of trade rumors here, and I'm sure Marc Bergevin is not done. We'll be interested to see what other moves he makes. Obviously, Jake Allen, like I said, he's been with the St. Louis Blues his entire career, was drafted there, worked his way up. Certainly was a bit of a polarizing figure at times. I mean, he was really good when he was in a 1A, 1B situation with Brian Elliott. That worked really well for him when he was the starter for a while. He was a little inconsistent, kind of lost his position to Bennington last year, of course, who helped them get to the Stanley Cup. And then this year, with him being a little bit more of a backup, playing a little bit less, really helped him and certainly kind of revitalized him and got him going. And now he had a strong year. Now he goes to Montreal. So certainly a pretty significant move here by the Habs to make this acquisition. From the St. Louis side of things, they're cutting salary, trying to keep their captain, Alex Pietrangelo. We do have reports, though, from a number of sources, including Dave Pagnona, Jeremy Rutherford, and a few others on Twitter, confirming that, to the best of their knowledge, and they have sources close to the situation, that the Blues and Pietrangelo are not close. So they're still quite a ways apart on a contract. I know Elliot Friedman's also reported that somewhat of an emotional negotiation, given the fact that we've seen so many other Blues players be extended throughout the year or be acquired and extended, like Justin Falk, Marco Scandella, Braden Shen got his contract, and here the captain's still kind of out in the cold, not signed for beyond this season. So we'll have to see what Doug Armstrong and Pietrangelo, if they can get a deal done, but this is step 1 in that direction. Now, of course, they have other guys to sign as well, so the Blues needed to cut costs no matter what. They also have Vince Dunn to sign, and so we could also see guys like maybe an Alex Steen or Tyler Bozak be moved. That's a possibility, or even a Jaden Schwartz. That wouldn't be shocking either. But clearly, Bergevin did not waste any time. He saw an opportunity to improve the goaltending, add a more solid, experienced backup, and he's gone ahead and done that. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are on his trade down in the comment section. Jake Allen to Montreal. They have a lot of money tied up at goaltending, but could they be a great goaltending tandem to help give them more success and get them back to the playoffs next year and see how this can go? Of course, they're only tied to him for one season, so he could very well be, just to kind of buy him some time to give Caden Primo another year of seasoning. They don't have to necessarily sign him beyond that contract, beyond the 1 year. If Caden Primo's ready at that point, maybe they go with Price and Primo. And if they feel like Primo still needs a little more development, they could maybe try to re-sign Jake if things work out to obviously a less expensive, shorter-term contract after that. But I guess we'll see what happens here. But some big news in the NHL. Give me your thoughts down in the comments and we'll discuss further. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning on your notifications so you don't miss any future content. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest happenings around the NHL. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.